In this film we're going to look at changing the subject of formulae. We just look at a few simple examples. A plus B equals C, where C is the subject of the formula at the moment, and we want to change the subject to A. So A at the moment has this B which is being added onto it. If we take that B to the other side, the opposite of add is take away, so A equals C minus B. So remember, change side, change operation. So P equals Q plus R. We're changing the subject to Q. In this example, I'm taking the Q plus R to the other side and setting that equal to P. We've not changed the formula at all, we've just switched things around. Now I want Q on its own. Again, that R has been added onto Q, taking it over to our side becomes take away. Q equals P, take away R. G equals X plus H. X plus H equals G. We're changing the subject to X. X equals G minus H. Slightly different example this time. We've got H equals M over N, and we're changing the subject to M. This is where we use a technique called cross multiplication. If we rewrite the equation as H over 1 equals M over N, we now have two fractions set equal to each other, so we can cross multiply, which gives us Hn equals M, i.e. M equals Hn. Again, another example where we can use cross multiplication. If we put, gives us X equals PQ. If we change the subject to X here, again cross multiplying gives us Kx equals 1. So X equals 1 divided by K. X over A equals BC. We're changing the subject to X, so again cross multiplying will give us XC equals AB. We want X on its own, that C is multiplying the X at the moment, so we do the inverse of multiply, divide. A slightly different example here, so V equals RS, we're changing the subject to S. Again, switching the sides, RS equals V, we want S on its own, that R is times in, so we take it over the side, we divide, S equals V over R. So we've got 2y plus u equals w, and we're changing the subject to y. At the moment you get rid of anything being added or subtracted from your subject first. So we have 2y equals w minus u, and then we want rid of that 2 that's multiplying it, taking it over to our side, we divide by the 2. Another similar example, if we change the subject here to x, again we get rid of anything being added or subtracted from our subject, so we get 4x equals q minus p, and then we divide by that 4 that's currently multiplying the x by dividing it, the inverse of multiplication. Again, I'm going to switch the sides here so that I've got my subject on the left hand side of the equal sign, so v minus wx equals e, minus wx equals e minus v, x equals e minus v over w, minus w, sorry. Slightly different example this time, we have x plus 2 over b equals c. Cross multiplying, we get x plus 2 equals bc, so x equals bc minus 2. Again, cross multiplying. If we change the subject to x again here, we get VW equals t plus x. Switch the sides round, t plus x equals VW. We've not changed the balance here at all. X equals VW minus t. That should be VW minus t. Okay, here we have a formula with a bracket. We want to change the subject to x. So we're going to multiply out the bracket. So p equals ax plus an. And then if we switch the sides to put the subject on the left hand side of the equal sign, I'm going to then try and get x on its own. So I'm going to get anything that's been added or subtracted from the subject. So I'm going to subtract an, and then I'm going to finally divide by a. So x equals p minus an over a. Okay, we're changing the subject here to c. So again, multiply out your bracket. K equals bc minus bd. Switch the sides, so bc minus bd equals k. Again, get rid of anything been added or subtracted from your subject. So bc equals k plus bd. So c equals k plus bd over b. Remember, try some of these yourself. Press pause and then check your answer, okay? V plus u over w equals bw over 6. And I think we're changing the subject here to v. So cross multiplying, we get 6v plus u. Using a bracket equals bw squared. Multiplying out our bracket and continuing as before. Get rid of what's been added or subtracted from our subject first, and then worrying about things like multiplying or dividing it. Again, press pause and try these for yourself. Okay, we can try a slightly different example this time. So we have p squared equals r over q. We're changing the subject to p. The reverse of p, or inverse of p, is the square root. So p equals the square root of r over q. T equals a fifth k squared h, and we're changing the subject to k. Let's get rid of that fifth first by multiplying by 5. So 5t equals k squared h. Switching the sides, k squared h equals 5t. K squared is equal to 5t divided by h. And then finally we take our square root. Right, remember to press pause and try the next one for yourself. So change the subject of this to h, press pause just now. Okay, so here we've got one with a bracket. Again, multiply by 4 to get rid of that fraction. Gives us 4y equals 3 bracket x minus a. Now multiply out the bracket. We're changing the subject to x, so switch the sides. Again, get rid of anything that's been added or subtracted from your subject first. So that gives us 3x equals 4y minus 3a. So then divide by everything by 3. Get rid of the 3. It's multiplying the x. Again, press pause once the question comes up and try a couple for yourself. Try this one for yourself.